Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shah, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shah, Barakatha Yahweh, Barakatha Yahweh Shah. Call Halal Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakakwadash. This is Brother Shalimar from the GMS Atlanta Church. I also want to give double honors to my elders and apostles of Great Millstone who taught us this truth. Peace and safety to the elect men, women, and children that are scattered throughout the four corners of the earth. Once again, giving all praises to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahweh Shah, Bahashim Rakakwadash. So I'm going to do basically share some information with the brothers and sisters that are listening. You're going to see, if you look at the screen on the left side, you see a statue that has been associated with racism and slavery. So basically, it's a little slave boy, really dark, big pink lips, big bug eyes, eating a watermelon. And brothers, that's if you're familiar with like look basically little artifacts from segregation days, things that Esau used to do to make fun of Jake. One thing they used to say is we eat a lot of watermelon and fried chicken, and they have these watermelon slave statues, and you still see these things to this day. I've actually passed stores out in the country that sell them, that make them and sell them. But what brought me to this topic is last week. I'm not gonna get into what type of work I do. Some of the brothers in the camp know what I do, but I basically go to different people's houses, and a lot of times I'm not welcome. Um, Actually, one time last week, a lady just straight up told me she didn't want me to come in the house. She said because she had a house full of people. But that wasn't the reason. So, when you get out like in the country and especially the older Edomites, and when I say Edomites, I'm talking about Esau, who was the so-called white man, according to the scriptures. When you get out in the country and those old Edomites, especially the ones that lived, that was in like the middle of their life during the segregated days, that participated in lynchings and all of those things, what they call picnics, goes back to the term pick a nigga, and you can actually look that up. They would actually find a Jake and basically beat him and hang him to death, lynch him, and then they would have they will put down blankets and bring tables and all and hang around the body and take pictures and make postcards and all of that, and basically have a lunch. So that's why I don't to this day use the term picnic, because it goes back to that. But you can look it up for yourself. A lot of brothers actually know that in and out of the truth. I actually knew that before I came into the truth. But anyway, back to the statue. I went to a house to do some work, and this family had this statue in the front yard. They actually had two of them. This is not the same picture. This is not the picture of the house. This is a picture I found online of the exact same statue. So, I noticed it. She actually wanted me to go through a certain door so I wouldn't even go to that side of the house. And I ended up seeing it anyway. This is actually like the second or third time. I want to say the third or fourth time I've seen one of these in someone's yard. And every single time, this is gonna sound crazy, but every single time I see one of these statues, the family acts really, really nice, or either it's that one person there that acts really nice towards you. You know, they offer you food, drinks. They try and be extra nice, offer to help do stuff, carry stuff or whatever. You know, they try and be overly kind to you. And not only that, this one particular house last week that I was at, they had Confederate flags in there. So the lady was, you know, she was offering me like cookies and drinks, and I'm like, look, you got a racist slave statue in the front yard and Confederate flags in the house. You think I'm gonna eat your cookies and drink your water and your juices? Hell no. You know, Esau think Jacob is stupid anyway. Esau think Jacob fall for anything that's free. I mean, most of them do, but you know, brothers that's awake and you know that take heed to what's really going on. You know, they already, you know, you know that you're not gonna you know that that's your enemy basically. And your enemy will try their best to be your friend, but basically this what I'm getting at on here is you know, it doesn't matter how nice Esau try and act towards you. He's always your enemy. He's always gonna be your enemy. So if you you know, you come across these the statues like the one on the screen, you best believe that you know they got even more stuff in it. And I've seen all kind of stuff. I've seen all kind of stuff in these people's houses. Paintings of slaves picking cotton. You know, little statues of the woman slave. You know, basically a lot of stuff back from slavery. I'm pretty sure behind like you know, locked up in a drawer, you know, something in a little private area of the house, they may have probably some of those old postcards of those lynchings. I wouldn't be surprised. Esau has all of this stuff, but basically, I just wanted to tell you that story. You know, I come across a lot of this, and that brings me to Ecclesiastes 10. Shalakia. Actually, it's Ecclesiastes. Let me go back. 12 and 10. And it says, never trust thine enemy, for like as iron rusted, so is his wickedness. So, you know, you might think you have a friend that's an Edomite, and they'll stab you in the back. I actually had that happen before. This company I used to work for. You know, this guy, he was my best friend. And, you know, he used to call me to his office and we'll talk, and, you know, he was telling me like a lot of personal stuff, you know, about his life and how he grew up, and, you know, all kind of stuff that he went through. And then, you know, one day after I was actually not working with him, I was working on another team in the same company, but I offered to help him out with something. And he tried to, well, he actually needed the help, and I did help him. He was like, yeah, I need you to help me with this. So he ended up trying to report me to get me written up, saying that I wasn't doing my own work. I was basically meddling into his work. So you know, and then it's, you know, it's not only that, it's a lot of stuff that I heard that he said behind my back. You know, basically, I couldn't believe it at the time because this guy had me fooled. I'm thinking that he's my friend. That's just one example. This has happened like over and over, over and over. In my lifetime. Stuff that I've seen. But it's really hard to trust Esau. It's we have to work together. This is Babylon. Brothers have jobs. You have to work with Esau and get along with him. But you don't have to be his friend. Don't try and go to like personal dinners and luncheons and you know uh, going over to his house for dinner or inviting him over to your house. Brothers in the truth already know that that's a negative. But if you're not in this truth and you just running into this video, hey, don't trust your enemy. Esau is your enemy. As a matter of fact, Deuteronomy 28 and 68. This is the famous scripture that basically brought all the brothers and sisters to the light that realized that you are Israelite. I'm just gonna get it real quick. And it says, "And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships, by the way there whereof I spake unto thee. Thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies for bondman and bondwoman, and no man shall buy you." So when you came over here on those slave ships, you were sold to your enemies. These are not your friends. And it's been like that ever since Genesis 27 and 41. It says, "And Esau hated Jacob because of the blessing wherewith his father blessed him. And Esau said in his heart, The days of mourning for my father are at hand. Then I will slay my brother Jacob." So this is when that hatred, it actually started. This is probably another lesson, but the hatred of Esau and Jacob, basically the way that Esau was born, having no pigment, coming out red all over. That was the curse of Cain. And Cain, Cain slayed Abel, and he was cursed. The Most High cursed him, and that's that same spirit that was on Jacob and Esau. Actually, it is the same spirit that was Jacob and Esau. It's just two different, bodies that were born. But even back then in the beginning, it's been that same hatred. But Esau is basically Esau is jealous of Jacob. Jacob has the best looking women, the best inventions. Even though you got niggas out there that like to kill their own, Jacob is the most peaceful people on earth. We're the most peaceful people on earth. And our style, our rhythm, our music, the way we dance, the way we move, the way we talk, everything that I just named, Esau is jealous of Jacob because of those things. We can't really have anything to ourselves. Anytime we come out with something, Esau, a lot of times they try and take it and use it as their own, or claim it as their own. I was watching this some little show or something. I think it was on MTV or something like that. But anyway, it was I can't really tell any names who the performer was, but it was a lady having a concert, and it was this little boy. He looked like a little 10-year-old, maybe sodomite. He was real feminine, and she allowed him to come on stage, and while she was doing the concert, and when he got on stage, he started doing this particular dance that Jake came out with. So he got famous for that, and they were saying that that was his signature dance, like he put his name on it. And you see that dance everywhere. You actually see a lot of Jakes doing it, but you see a lot of Edomites doing it because it's something that's simple. A lot of these dances these days are really simple, where everybody can do it. That's why they get they get so famous, because it's easy for everybody to do it. But anyway, Esau always try and take credit for everything that Jacob has done. That's part of that jealousy. But I'm going to get some more precepts and then close this out. And I want to read Ezekiel chapter 35, verse 2. It says, "Son of man, set thy face against Mount Seir and prophesy against it." Mount Seir is Edom. If you look up Mount Seir in the scriptures, they're talking about Edom, the Edomites, Esau, which is a so-called white man. And it says, "And say unto it, Thus said the Lord Yahweh, Behold, O Mount Seir, I am against thee. I will stretch out my hand against thee. I will make thee most desolate." So this is a prophecy that the Most High is giving Ezekiel, what he's gonna do to Mount Seir. And this is actually the day of the Lord. So in this day and age, this Mount Seir is gonna be the United States of America. But it says, "I will lay thy cities waste, and thou shalt be desolate, and thou shalt know that I am the Lord Yahweh Bahashem Yahushai." So the Lord is saying he's going to lay all these cities desolate. And if you read Amos 9, the Lord goes into how he's going to actually take the chosen of Israel, Jacob. He's gonna pick them out of the out before the destruction comes. And but the sinners of all people are gonna get burnt up in that destruction, which are the ICBM nuclear missiles. But verse 5, it says, "Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had an end." So this is the end time, and Jacob is killing Esau like there's no tomorrow, like it's a sport. And you can damn near call it a sport, because they get, especially a police officer, when a police officer shoots a Jake for no reason, and this happens very often. They pull them over for something. They either beat them real bad. I see new stories every day. They either beat them real bad or they shoot them. And they have an excuse. Oh, it looks like he had a gun, or he moved when I told him not to move, or I told him not to move, then I told him to get out, and he didn't know whether to get out or be still, so I shot him. Or I fear for my life. They always tell these bullshit stories, and it worked. But Esau has had a perpetual hatred for Jacob, and it goes back to that jealousy, because Jacob got the blessing, and Esau, the only thing Esau got was the sword and the fatness of the earth in this world. But the next world to come, the kingdom of heaven, after the day of the Lord, is gonna be everything is gonna be ruled by Jacob, by Israel. And that's the main reason why it's important for brothers and sisters that's in this truth to hang on to this truth. To stay away from Esau, and don't get caught up with them, because they're gonna be destroyed. Don't get jealous of the things that Esau have, the houses, the cars, the areas where he live, the beautiful lake houses and boats and all the money and all of that Esau has. All of this is coming to an end real soon. Really, really soon. But as a matter of fact, let me before I end this, I'm gonna get Obadiah verse 10. It says, "For thy violence against thy brother Jacob, shame shall cover thee, and thou shalt be cut off forever." So that violence is gonna, they actually some of these Edomites are actually feeling shameful for what they do, for what they doing. And it shows when you go around them and they try and act extra nice, but still don't fall for it. These people are your enemy. I've went to a person's house to do some work, and the neighbor approached me with a gun saying, "What are you doing over here? Let me see your ID." And I'm like, "Who are you?" "Oh, I live across the street." "Oh, well, I'm over here to do some work." I try and keep it, keep it from escalating. That's how we have to move, because Esau has the upper hand. He can kill you and just say that, or it looked like he had a gun, and nothing will happen to him. As a matter of fact, I think a few years back, some Issacharites, which are the so-called Mexicans, they was in the city of Lilburn. They pulled up in this Edomite's driveway to turn around. So while they're getting ready to pull out and turn around, Esau comes out with a gun and shoots the driver. Shalakia, I'm not sure if it was the driver or the passenger, but he shot somebody and killed them. Shot somebody in the car and killed them. And his reason was they were at his house and he feared for his life. Well, he was found guilty. He went to jail, but he only served like 5 or 6 months, and he got out on good behavior or some bullshit. So even when the so-called white man is found guilty, they always get off. They always manage to, the punishment won't stick. But I didn't intend for this video to be as long. Let me see if I wanted to get another precept. I'm gonna get one more, and then I'm gonna end this, and I'm gonna get basically the main thing that I was going into in this whole topic. The book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 20. I'm gonna start at 20. It says, "He had put forth his hand against such as be at peace with him. He had broken his covenant." And that's talking about Esau Edom, the so-called white man. Every time he made a covenant or a treaty, every single time since he's been on the earth, he's broken it. Look what he did to the Native Americans. The tribe of Gad. I think it's the number is close to 70 million Gadites were slaughtered once Esau moved in and claimed this country as this land as his. But I'm gonna continue to read 21. "The words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords." So that's how Esau rolls. That's why I said don't get close to him. Try and keep it, keep your distance. Work with him, get along with him at work, and keep it at that. Keep it at that. Don't get caught up in Esau's tricks. So I hope this was edifying to you brothers and sisters that's listening. And once again, I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, Bashim Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles, a great millstone who teach and rule well. Peace and safety to the elect. Shalom.